questions you just asked me was, why don't we play state football at Lambeau? And you pick a venue, pick a sport. A lot of people have what would be the ideal place to play a state championship for a WIAA sport. But there's a few things that everybody has to remember. Number one, is it even available? Is the venue even willing to host that event? And sometimes the answer is no and no, because they have other events that draw more attention, draw more revenue, just, draw more people to their city. And so that's the first question we ask is it even available? And are they a willing host? Then beyond the venue itself, which again, UW La Crosse is a spectacular track itself, we have to look at all the other aspects. Are there enough hotels in the city to house all the 20,000 fans that come to state track in La Crosse? What about the parking situation? Can they accommodate people? Can people move if there isn't parking on site? Is there a shuttle service that can get people in and out? So there's just a lot of factors beyond just the venue itself that go into determining whether the WIAA can host the meet there. And then the final straw sometimes is, can the association afford it? Can we actually afford to be at that venue? This is a not-for-profit private business. A lot of people don't realize that the WIAA is not an extension of the government. The WIAA takes zero tax dollars. So the WIAA runs as a small business based upon 85% of revenue coming from those tournament experiences. So we have to be really careful when we look at venues that we got to make sure the budget balances so we can continue to host all those events, especially for our tournaments that don't generate revenue, they actually lose revenue.
So are the Packers asking too much?
We haven't asked the question of the Packers just yet.
Okay. So you haven't reached out ever to ask the Packers if we can host state football at Lambeau Field?
We have not. No, we are a member-driven organization, and so to this point, our membership haven't asked us to leave UW. Our Football Coaches Association, Football Coaches Advisory really like playing at Camp Randall. And so until our membership says, hey, we'd like you to start looking at a new venue, it's probably unlikely that we're going to be looking for someplace else.
Do you know off the top of your head? Because I imagine you negotiate with UW-Madison like you do with UWL. So the deal with UWL is we're going to have state track there till 2034. Similar with UW-Madison, we're going to have state football there till whenever? Do we have a...
We just signed a new contract extension with UW last year, and I believe that was an 8-year extension as well.
Okay, so 8 years from now or 7 years from now, can we talk? I don't know how you do with ticket sales at UW-Madison because some of the smaller schools might only bring so many people. But if you had it at Lambeau Field, I feel like you might pack the stadium even for the lower divisions just because I get to go watch football at Lambeau Field. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about ticket sales and driving, revenue.
Yeah, there's not many people that get to come to Lambeau for an $11 ticket, is there?
No, for sure. Maybe you could charge $15 or something if you needed to, because maybe Lambeau Field might cost a little bit more than playing at Camp Randall. My thing about state would be where would be the coolest place as an athlete to play in that venue. And it would be for football, it would be Lambeau Field, and then the next one would be Camp Randall. For basketball, I guess my next question, I can just do the big three, right? Basketball, state championship, Fiserv Forum, has that ever been a conversation? Or baseball, state championship at AmFam Field?
Every time we come close to the end of a contract agreement, we do revisit venues to see if they are an option. Again, only if our membership is seeking us to look elsewhere. So when we run into venue conflicts with their calendar, and that has happened with the Kohl Center, it has happened with other venues as well, where we look at potential conflicts and we start to see if there are other options out there.
Do you guys think about that a lot? The idea that athletes would want to play their state championship at this venue more so than girls basketball. Is that in Green Bay? Yeah, I can't remember if that's off the top of my head.
That one's at the Rush Center.
Okay, so if I was I think as a girls basketball player, I think I would rather play at not Camp Randall. That'd be awesome. But at the Kohl Center, just the idea of being able to play at the Badgers, especially now the Badgers become pretty good as a women's basketball team, especially the last season. So does that ever go through, like part of the decision-making process? What is best for the athletes or coolest? Like you just use that term.
Well, there's no doubt about it. That is one of the factors. But again, probably the first item that it comes down to is the schedule. Is the venue even available for that weekend? And if the venue is not available, then it's not an option. Then we have to go to, the next venue. So you're right. Sometimes the kids maybe have a first choice they'd love to play at. But that first choice, if not available, we've got to look at what's our next best option.